Hello, Mary me. So today I want to review a tarot deck, and the one I want to review is this one, Crow'ss Magick Tarot. Now you will have to excuse the condition of the box. I've had this for quite some time, and I think it's one of my fifth or so favorite deck of all time. Generally, I don't use this that much for readings because I feel that my readings very often gets more accurate with other decks, but I use this a lot for dream work. And you'll see in a little while that it's very surrealistic, and for me, it's very perfect for dream work and basically meditations and that sort of thing. So let's have a look at the little white book. It's nothing special, it has a little raven on it. I know there are a kit of this that comes with a book. Unfortunately, I didn't get that, and I sort of don't want to buy the cards again just to get the book. But I'm hoping to be able to find the book loose at some point. So like all of these books, it has an introduction. And it goes right on to the cards with little blurbs there about this big, as you can see. About each card, there's definitely not much information here. And it's the same with the little arcana. There's 2 or 3 lines of right side up and reversed with each card. So yeah, it doesn't really give you much information at all. It's not a very good little white book. Not that the little white books tend to be very good. And of course it has the Celtic crossbred. Like I said, it's the law that every single thing on the tarot has to have the Celtic crossbred, or Care Bear commandos with machine guns are going to come and shoot you. And yes, I am making a joke. Anyway, let's have a look at the cards themselves. Out we go. Of course, we just have these 2 standard, this is what the deck is, blah blah blah, facts. Bit of information here on who's made the cards, and it was made with the dreams, visions, and meditation in mind. And this is how the cards look. They are very computerized, very abstract animal images. So yeah, I think that the deck is very pretty. It has very clean imagery. The symbolism is there, but it does at times vary from the traditional red-white type of symbolism. And like I said, for me, this is the kind of cards that works so much better to sit and meditate on, have under my pillow for dream work and that sort of thing, than to divine with them. Though it's decent divination deck as well, I guess it's just not me. And yeah, I think that this is the kind of deck that you will either love or hate. Because I think that a lot of people will be turned off from the very computerized, very... You know what this looks like? Have you seen those early 3D TV shows? You had one named ReBoot and one named Transformers Beast Wars. Yeah. It looks like this. This is what it looks like. It looks like if the Beast Wars had a baby with Tron and spewed out this deck. That's what it looks like. And me being a bit quirky, I liked it. I think that it's different. It's fun. It's a deck that sort of gets my imagination going. But at the same time, I think that if you are more of a fan of a traditional decks, this can put you off. The images are very simplistic. But at the same time very detailed. This, for example, is Judgment. You definitely see the symbolism there, but it's a little bit different, and I think that it might be easier to divine with this if you have the book. So I definitely recommend, if you're gonna buy this, to buy it with a kit, because a deck that's so different can be difficult to sort out by yourself. But I mean, the Empress here, you see the Empress in the Gita, you see the nature around the creative force, and so on and so forth. Now, it is fully illustrated. Yeah, here's one that really gets me thinking about those early computerized images. Yeah. So it's just a very, very different deck, and all of them have this black background, and it has these strange metallic animal images combined with shapes and forms floating in it. And it's a really very interesting deck. Now, the cardstock is decent. I mean, I've had this deck for, oh, it was before I left my hometown of Jevnaker that I got this, so it's at least 11 or 12 years I've had this now. And I mean, there's not a lot of wear and tear on it. The box is in far less condition than the cards themselves. Now, granted, using cards for meditation does create much less wear and tear than when you shuffle them and you shuffle them and you shuffle them, but I have done quite a bit of readings on these with these as well. So yeah, this deck is produced by, it says here somewhere, US Game Systems. Does it say who made them? I'm terrible at remembering. It's Londa Marks has made them. I'm just terrible at remembering authors and all of that. And like I said, do I recommend this deck? It depends on what you're looking for. I can show you some more of these images. If this looks like something you will be interested in, then I recommend it. The deck is in good quality, the printing is nice, the symbolism is interesting, and yeah, there's nothing technically wrong with the deck, but at the same time, it's so strange that I think it's a bit sort of, either you like it or you don't. So I would recommend actually searching the deck up online, having a good look at the images, and deciding for yourself whatever or not you like it. I do also think that if you're grown, I mean, I grew up with Beast Wars and a few of these early computer animated 3D shows, and so that gives deck that nostalgia factor. I can also say that for me, this deck works a lot better for, and yeah, that's the back. It's just two crows flying. Decent, simple, very nice and clean, like the rest of the deck. That, for me, it hasn't worked very well for divination. I just doesn't feel that it flows when I use it, but it has worked a lot, very well for meditation. But again, that can vary a lot. For one reader, something like this is exactly what I need for divination. For others, they'll need a very traditional deck. It just depends on what speaks to what reader. So, but yeah, the symbolism is interesting. It has this very, very nice and clean, but the same very weird look on it. It's like, It's like the people behind ReBoot decided to do Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, it's weird. But it's a good deck. So I think that it can be a bit jumbled up at times. So it's not a perfect deck. I'll give it 7 out of 10. But if you like the bit weird and you like the art style, then it's the deck that I recommend. But I do recommend getting it with the book, because I think that if you have that, it will be easier to familiarize yourself with this deck. So yeah, if you're in the market for an unusual animal themed deck that looks like something computer animated from 2 decades ago, why don't give Crow'ss Magick a chance? At the very least, it'll be an interesting novelty thing for your tarot collection. So yeah, and it also says in the information on the deck that it was made with meditation, vision questing, and such in mind, and that has worked very well for me. So I think that it might have been made more for that than for divination. But like I said, you can have a completely different experience of it than I. That's my review of Crow'ss Magick Tarot by Londa Marks. I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day. Blessed be.